I hope they.
Julie, are you starting? Should I sit and then I'll come out? I mean, do you, yeah.
And then you'll welcome.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the high sign, not the high sign.
I gotcha.
I'm just going to like do two versions of me and my brother. Just a little warm up. Yeah.
I'll be over there in case if you need to like wave or you need binoculars or anything, like just be rest assured I'm not that
you'll
far.
start the wave.
I'll start the wave.
Dip. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יללי, יללי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יללי, יללי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Sing to me. מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Sing with me. הנה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים. We may be on page 10. We may be on page 10. גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Yeah!
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so good to get to be together tonight, and we celebrate not just Shabbat, not just the opportunity to, yes, get to the end of the week. Imagine all of us could use a moment to just take a breath. Let's do that together. You made it. I won't advertise the particular device, but I'm always reminded of, at 5 o'clock, one of my smart devices starts cheering and says, "Hooray, you made it to 5 o'clock on Friday." You made it. You made it. Shabbat is an opportunity, for us to step back, to relax a little bit, and to celebrate everything that has taken place in this past week. And we have in our tradition also the opportunity to step back a little bit further. We have, and it's bonus points for any of our kiddos. I'm seeing a couple of kiddos who are we'll do under 18. After the service, you can come up and tell me what the Shabbat of Shabbats is, right? But every year we have a Shabbat of Shabbats. I'll give you a hint. It's called Yom Kippur. And, and also, every once in a while we have the opportunity to step back even a little bit more and to see an even broader course of time and history, and to celebrate that history. Tonight, we have the opportunity to celebrate 100 years of Temple Israel. I want to invite all of us to say Mazel Tov together as we talk about this day. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Mazel Tov. This is the beginning of a weekend to celebrate, to kick off not just this Shabbat, not just the Shabbat of the year, but to Shabbat of many, many years of our community. And we're going to have celebrations all throughout the weekend. You'll hear more about that as we go forward, but we have, in addition to the opportunity to sing tonight, a special treat. And I want to tell a little bit of a story. And Julie, I told you that this is a story that I told you it would be a story that you wouldn't know. So,
Okay.
About a year, and this is going to be a little bit more of a personal story. I hope you don't mind. You could, everyone kick back. Okay, all right. Kick back, get ready. This is, so, I'd say a year and a half ago, my mom retired from her position at Temple Salel. It's about an hour and 15. Yeah, so you may anticipate part of this story.
Okay.
Well, when I was a kid running around at Temple Salel, I was used to having the opportunity to be in the building and walk into a space where I could walk in, and even if I didn't know the person, I could walk right up to them and just give them a hug. That's the kind of space that it was, and that's the kind of space that this temple is as well. Well, as a part of that retirement moment, we decided to visit the old building of that synagogue. We walked in the door, and Temple Salel had in its foyer an open area. And if you were to go to the left, you would go to the administration offices. To the right are the classrooms, and right in front is the sanctuary. But in that little foyer is an area with brickwork and a little table next to it. Uh-huh. And I had forgotten this moment until I walked through those doors. Julie, many years ago, when I was a kid, you came. Yeah, some of you still think I'm a kid. I was in that space. You came to Temple Salel to offer your beautiful and powerful music. And I remember being so moved by the music that you gave that night. And I remember coming over to you. When I came over to you, you did something that I had never seen an adult do before. You crouched down to meet me at eye level. And you told me that you were so grateful that I enjoyed the music that you shared. That memory came flooding back to me when I walked through those doors, and I think that it's a testament of the power of what a sacred community can be. That even moments that have come by and moments today, we celebrate a sacred time that exists from week to week, from Shabbat to Shabbat. And as we share this evening together, and as we think about the generations of this beautiful community of Temple Israel, I find it deeply fitting, and I'm incredibly grateful to share this space, to be on this bima, and to celebrate this Shabbat with you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Wow. I feel like you're kind of like,
That's all right, we can, together, yeah.
How old are you?
We're-
What are you, 7, 8? You work? Do you go to school? What do you do?
I was already, believe it or not, I was already working as a rabbi at that time.
That's good. You guys, you're fun.
Julie, thank you for being here tonight.
It's very special. Very special. I have a lot of good feelings, but I'm sure you want to continue.
Well, I think that was probably the best possible introduction to who you are, Julie Silver, and I just wanted to welcome you here to our very special 100-year Shabbat celebration with Julie Silver. And I did ask Julie what she wanted me to say for her introduction. She very humbly said, please don't talk a lot. Just, they'll get to know me, and I have a 30-year history with Temple Israel. And
What don't we know about each other?
So I feel like you either really know Julie Silver, or if you don't know her, you will get to know her very well during this beautiful Shabbat service. Thank you so much for being here.
Listen, I just want to tell you, we're going to sing and we're going to pray, we're going to have some celebration, and this is wonderful. And I'll get into this a little bit later, but this was one of the first places in California that invited me to do a concert. It was 30 years ago. I had just moved here, and who had just told me about the paper that went up on the... Linda did. Oh, Linda puts up this huge banner. I never saw anything like it. I was 27. I drive up. I'm like, this is Long Beach. This is Temple Israel. I'm from Newton, Massachusetts, and you guys brought me out here. I had a weekend, and it was so great. And it was like the reason I moved here was because I thought, is everybody like that? Is everybody like a big sign, Julie Silver in concert? And then, Linda, what happened? Did you take it home and put it up in your house? I did. I have trouble trouble. I'm not like a hoarder or anything, but I have trouble letting go of certain. I'll never let go of anything that you've given me. That's for sure. Shall we sing? Should we open? Let's open. We know Psalm 96. One of my favorites. Shiru Adonai Kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Let's do that again. Od pa'am. Shiru Adonai Kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. We're on page 13 if you want to know. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Naaretz. Shiru Adonai Naaretz. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. We will sing unto God a new song. On page 20, let's sing together. You want to introduce or shall I? I just learned this song almost on the drive here. This setting of Lecha Dodi, I love it. I love this setting. I don't know it very well. It's Nava Tehillah, beautiful music from Israel. It is so gorgeous. And I just heard it and I thought, you know what? It's okay not to know it. We can all not know it together. And here we are on page 20, where the Lecha Dodi is. And can you just remind me, Rabbi, which are the verses we do?
We do 1, 5, and 9.
1, 5, and 9, as the ancient Israelites used to say. 1, 5, and 9, and then we'll take her home. Nava Tehillah. I love this. The beautiful part about this is you can sing anything. Just, you can, watch. I
don't know it at all, so I just sing anything. And it's just like, that's
I
fine.
love it, though. It goes, Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Sing it, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishbiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem l'peret v'lithilah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat,
door as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Boi v'shalom, ater bala, gam besimcha, uv'zohar, tov emuneh, am segula, boi kala, boi kala, lecha dodi,
That's a keeper. Well, we have many things that we're celebrating this evening, and one of the things that we're celebrating as we think about the stewardship of 100 years of Temple Israel is thinking about the next 100 years as well. And so I want to invite up Amy Lapellis and Susie Amster to share and to welcome up, to introduce our speaker for this evening as we think together about what it means not just to receive the gift of 100 years, but to think about what it means to offer that gift to those who will come for the next 100 years as well.
Welcome, everyone. This is really wonderful. My story involves beer with Julie, but we're not going to talk about that. So, welcome, everyone. Susie and I are so excited to welcome you to this celebration of 100 years of life at our Temple Israel congregation. It's quite an accomplishment to not only survive after 100 years, but to also thrive, and we truly are thriving. As many of you know, this is a commercial for us, Susie and I are currently chairing the next 100-year campaign for the Temple with help from an amazing committee. And our goal is to allow our synagogue to continue to survive over the next 100 years. We want this wonderful place to not just support us and our children and our grandchildren, but others that we do not yet know into the future. We are excited to announce that we have raised over $4 million in cash and legacy, which is in your will, pledges. And our goal, we have a goal of $6 million, and we want to thank so many of you who have already given and hope those of you who haven't will join us. I want to introduce Mark Scharzer, our current Temple Israel Foundation president. He is a retired radiologist, a longtime member, and a wonderful person. He's going to share with you a little more about the campaign and how it will affect our exciting future. Thank you.
First, I want to thank Julie Silver for warming up the audience for me. That's very good. Okay. But seriously, Shabbat Shalom. I am currently the POTIF, president of the Temple Israel Foundation. What is the Temple Israel Foundation, some of you may ask? I'm glad you asked. Formed way back in 1977, which I think was before the rabbi was born. The Temple Israel Foundation has two main goals. One, earn income to disperse for designated charitable purposes. And two, preserve real value of assets while achieving long-term growth via sound investment and donations. Or more simply, we do a lot of money managing. Using professional advisors, we invest in the usual suspects, mainly stocks, bonds, and cash. No funny stuff. No derivatives, no short selling, and no Bitcoin. How much do we currently have in investments, and what is the money used for, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. Now, this is not what Amy said about the legacy and the donations. We currently have, disregarding all that, about $4 million in investments. Some of the items this money provides for include performing creative arts programs, compensation and expenses of the educator, the rabbi, and the cantor, campus scholarships, spring retreat scholarships, Torah Center scholarships, building repairs and upgrades, lectureships and speakers, donor recognition events, auditing and accounting, and an annual allocation of the temple of 4% of the total of unrestricted investment funds. Dayenu. A lot. In closing, mimicking what Amy had said, I want to give a big thanks to those of you who have donated to Temple Israel during the next 100-year campaign and also prior to the campaign. And we would love to have everybody participators are able with a cash donation or a legacy gift in your will so the temple can survive and thrive for the next 100 years. And leaving you with one final unrelated thought. My prediction for Sunday is that Taylor Swift will win the Super Bowl by 14 points. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Well, we have a lot to celebrate as we think about generations, and as we look to those 100 years that have come, we also celebrate the new steps of a young adult this particular Shabbat as we look to those 100 years to come. And so I'd like to invite Robert and Nikki, Jennifer and Robert to come on up and to light the candles with us this evening as we start our holiday together and as we celebrate the newest of a new generation taking on what it means to live meaningfully in our community.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You know, I have two daughters. When we met, I had nothing. And now I have a wife and I have two daughters, and we live in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles, 30 years ago, I've been living here since 1994, gave me my life. It gave me music and gave me my life and my living. And the Jewish community of Los Angeles and the greater Southern California. I mean, it was just everything I did in those formative years when I first moved here. It just, you are all such a huge part of it. And I'll tell you that when my second daughter was born, Katie, we were sitting on the floor together. She was about two. She was about 2 or 3. And we were playing with helium balloons, right? Helium balloons. And we had a big bunch of them. They were all tied together. And I would pull them down and bring them all the way down to the ground, and then she would let go and they'd hit the ceiling. Let go and all those balloons would hit the ceiling. And at one point, she held onto one of the balloons before it went up, you know, and let go of the rest of them. And she noticed that when she held on to one of those balloons, that the rest of them didn't go as high, you know, because they were all attached, right? So she's holding onto this balloon, and I'm sitting there, and I'm noticing, wow, those balloons really don't go as high when you hold one of them back. And so I said to her with great subtlety, I said, you know what, Katie, Ema's got to go write a song. And this was the song I composed. And so this is a song that I like to share. It's very easy. We'll all sing it. By the end of it, you'll know it. There will be no end of it, and we'll go right into the call to worship with it. But this is the call, that call. And the call to rise. Really, that's what it is. And remembering to rise. So your part of this song goes like this: that we all may rise, 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 that we all may rise. Try that. That we all may rise, that we all may rise. So that's your part of that. Who brings me these miracles? Who awakens me each day? Who breaks the chains of slavery and shows me the way? Who steadies my footsteps? Who opens up my eyes? Who lifts up the fallen, that we all may rise, 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 that we all may rise. Sing it again. That we all, and stand up if you can, if you will, if you're able, that we all may rise, that we all may rise, that we all may rise. Lie, 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 lie. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam voed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam voed. Lie, 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 lie. We may be seated for the Ahavat Olam. We usually stay standing. Oh, who are we? Tonight we'll sit. You know, my greatest teacher, our great teacher of blessed memory, Debbie Friedman. You know, she was our neighborhood girl, wasn't she? Yeah, down here in Southern California, towards the end of her life. But she was amazing, and I could go on and on. But she was really the one that that did it all, right? So when you say that it was like, you met me at the table there at Temple Solel. Temple Solel, man. What's the city? But when you told me, when you gave that wonderful story about meeting, that's the point. That's the whole point. Is love. Is that we meet with love, right? Is that we meet with love and love the world. It's hard. It's so hard to love the world. Imagine, how hard it is to love the world. That's a reflection of how hard it is, I'm sure, for God to love the world. It's hard. But it's our world, so we better love it. And I'd like to invite the Cantor up. Maybe we'll sing. Aren't we going to sing this together? Yeah. I like to spring things on people. That is a Debbie Friedman staple. Let's do this, she says. So this is, this is her setting. I remember when I heard this when I was a young person, a very young person, I remember thinking, I wonder if I could do something like that. This piece, just please sing with me. Please sing with us. Ahavat Olam. Page 32. Beit Yisrael. Amcha ahavta. It's so nice. I've forgotten how beautiful you sing. Torah u'mitzvot u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachmeinu u'kumenu nasiach behukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha mitzvotecha le'olam ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, Debbie. Ve'ahavadcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Please rise. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
I'd like to invite up our bar mitzvah this week, Robert, to lead us in the Ve'ahavta as we continue this prayer. The rest of the congregation I'd like to invite to please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen.
Well done, Robert.
Beautifully done.
You can have a seat.
Tomorrow's your bar mitzvah. You're going to have a great time. That was beautiful. I mean, that was really smooth. When I was in 4th grade at Temple Beth Avodah in Newton, Massachusetts, nothing? No, nothing? No response to that? Say it again? Your cousin lives there? Okay. Why does everyone's cousin live in Newton? Anyway, when I was at Temple Beth Avodah, my rabbi's name was Rabbi Miller, Rabbi Robert Miller. He was a great, great guy. He looked a lot like Mel Brooks. In fact, he looked so much like Mel Brooks, like a doppelganger. Yes, imagine. He looked so much like Mel Brooks that when I moved to Los Angeles, I had the occasion of meeting Mel Brooks. And I was able to meet. I shook his hand, and I said, I'm holding his hand, I'm shaking his hand, and I said, you're not going to believe this. I said, I was raised in a synagogue where my rabbi, it's like he's your doppelganger. It's like he's your long-lost twin. I can't even tell you, you look exactly like each other. And he's holding my hand, he's shaking my hand, and he brings me really close, and he says, I feel very sorry for your rabbi. He came into class when I was in 4th grade because we were all learning the Ve'ahavta in Hebrew. I left my homework under the seat and came back the week later. And when the Rabbi Robert Miller came in, Rabbi Miller came in to check our work, basically. We had each learned a line of the Ve'ahavta. I didn't learn my line, of course, so when he went around the class to test us on the Hebrew, he must have seen me looking like a deer in the headlights because he looked at me, went around, Hebrew, line of Hebrew. Julie, let's start here in English. He says, because, God hears every language. I have to tell you, Rabbi Miller of blessed memory, that moment could have gone a couple of different ways. Okay, I'm not going to say that I was going to turn into an Episcopalian or something, but he really could have turned me off right there and then. And what's your problem that you didn't do your homework, this and that? But that was love, right? That was love. I loved him. Anyway, this was the Ve'ahavta that I wrote when I became a music teacher for a 4th grade in Lexington, Massachusetts. I said, let's do an English Ve'ahavta. Love Adonai, your God, with all your heart. you sing with me if you know it. With all your soul and with all your mind, and these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Listen to how they sing it themselves. Write them on the door. Write them on the doorposts of your house. Where else? And upon your gates. That's right. And upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise. We turn now to page 40. I want this to be led by you and me. You and Ani ve'ata. And this will be, oh, yes. Oh, this is another beautiful Debbie Friedman piece. I love this. It's a two-part harmony song. It's a partner song, which means you all are on my side. Right? You are all on my side of the Red Sea, and you are all here on Cantor Cooper's side of the Red Sea. And as we know, you got to go through the middle, right? It's interesting how the sea parts. Every day we have to cross the sea, don't we? Every day we cross the sea. Do we cross with fear? Sometimes. Sometimes we cross with a little trepidation, a little anxiety. Sometimes we cross that with confidence. We're putting it on now, aren't we? And sometimes we get pushed into the water, right? But either way, we got to go right down the middle. Unfortunately, that's the only way to go, is right down the middle. It's fun to be on the sides. Got to go down the middle. I'm not sure how it relates to this piece. You think about it, get back to me, and we'll do this. Sing it now. Sing it. Follow the cantor. It's not a competition, but you should be a little louder. Nedar Bakodesh, sing.
yes, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, wait, no. No, let's do the whole song. You do it. Ready?
Okay.
This is so incredibly musical. You start. Yes, that's just the way I planned for that to go. You know, the Cantor and I met at where did we meet?
Temple
At
Menorah.
Temple. Oh, Temple Menorah. That's right. Well, this is nice. This is so wonderful. I love being home with you, and I love being here with you. Yeah, thank you. Deborah Winston came to a songwriting hug. How would you hug, an activity, right? A group, yeah. A songwriting group that I was teaching 30 years ago at Havana Shira in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Yeah, right. You went there? So, you know. And I was teaching a songwriting hug, and this woman came in and she said, I have the beginning of a song, but I'm not exactly sure where it's going. And this was the piece. She had really, from the depths, from her depths, had written this English piece and actually wrote a beautiful melody. I said, I think it needs a little bit of maybe it needs a little partner, sort of like that last piece we just did. A couple of songs, pieces that can fit together, and we came up with this, and it's been following me, and it's really her piece. The Hebrew was the part that I put in there, but it's really her, and her name is Cantor Deborah Winston, Deb Winston. I think she's in North Carolina now. But Oh Guide My Steps is hers.
Page 373.
Yeah. Let's bring it up a little bit. So there's two parts again. Oh, guide my steps is the first one. Okay, so we'll start. And you know, the truth is that all of us here could write something like what Deborah wrote. In fact, I would challenge you sometime, maybe this weekend, maybe this week, this coming week, put a notebook next to your bed with a pencil or pen. Not a phone, but a pencil and a pen. And write a few lines. Just write a few lines. No one's going to read it. But maybe, you know, Deborah woke up one day, I'm sure she did, and she said, guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. I didn't write those lyrics. She did. You could too, I promise you. That's the beauty of prayer. You can make your own. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ananana svata tifta. Ananana ufiagi. Ufiagi tehilate.
Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'konei Hakol Ve'zocher Chasei Avot ve'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei v'neihem Lema'an Shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechaye hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot umido melach melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'emanat lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh Please continue silently for a few moments, and we'll gather back together in song with Shalom Rav on page 62. You may be seated when you're done with your personal prayers. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam.
Well, I was just in, thank you. Cantor, there you went, okay. I was just in D.C. for the 150-year Reform Judaism celebration. I knew I'd get the number. And it was great. It was great. I was there. It was a very small biennial compared to the URJ biennials in the past. But it was great. And one of the things we celebrated was the 50-year anniversary of Shalom Rav. 50 years ago, Danny and Jeff wrote that song. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Well, Danny and Jeff are both great teachers and friends and colleagues of mine. And I take their lessons with me wherever I go, whenever I sing Shalom Rav, whenever I sing any of their songs or any of these songs that bring us together. You know, everything is community. Everything. The way you have... This is not the synagogue that I showed up at 30 years ago. I happen to know you have different paper that you would put the sign up. It would be probably mounted on something. I'm kidding. Or maybe not. But this is, it's true. You've blossomed, bloomed, and you thrive. And raising all kinds of funds for such a great place and a community and a place to call home within in Long Beach, but also just within just the world, in the world, that this place offers such safety and security, and we have to always remember that. This is a beautiful, loving, good place. And I love being in sanctuary. I find myself in sanctuary wherever I go. But I specifically love when we meet together as a community in sanctuary. And this is a piece that I wrote. I wanted to offer it to you. Since we've been together, I guess I wrote this piece. And it's another sort of a social action piece that I wrote a few years ago after the Charlottesville debacle in Charlottesville in Virginia. And so this piece, it's called Sanctuary. And so here it is. Yeah, so this is, I guess I haven't really played it for Long Beach, but you offered me one. And that's the thing, you offered me sanctuary when I first got here. That's why I stayed. And that's the beautiful thing. You offer somebody some shelter, a little sanctuary, a little kindness, a little, maybe a nosh and something to drink. Whatever you offer, it's good. It's good. So this is a piece that I wrote, Sanctuary. When one of us is suffering, we all feel pain. When one of us is stumbling, we fall again and again, and all of us are slaves until all of us are free. Everyone needs sanctuary. When some of us go hungry, none of us can eat. When words don't mean enough to us, we pray with our feet. We pray for the dreamers who pray for you and me. We can be their sanctuary. So let us set a table wide and long, where everyone has plenty and everyone belongs, where everyone agrees to disagree. Underneath this canopy, I will be a shelter open on all sides, and I will take you in and stand by your side, no matter where you come from or where you'd rather be. I can be your sanctuary. So let us set a table wide and long, where everyone has plenty and everyone belongs, where everyone agrees to disagree. Underneath this canopy, so stand up and sing. let your voices ring. Bring what you can bring and be a sanctuary. So stand up and sing. Let your voices ring. Bring what you can bring and be a sanctuary. Back at you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to take a little sip of water here. Well, a few years ago, a friend of mine, Cantor Lizzie Weiss of Beverly Hills, whose sister, as you know, is Sarah, the wonderful Sarah. Well, they sort of grew up at Camp Swig, and I guess I came in there as a song leader. And we all had a remarkable effect on each other. A few years ago, Sarah's sister, Lizzie Weiss, was being installed as the cantor in Beverly Hills, and she said to me, "Will you write a piece for my installation?" Thank you. And so I said, "Well, yeah, sure, I will. Is there anything you want me to, is there any text that you'd like me to treat? Anything you want me to, any text in particular?" And she said, "I'd love for you to do a Pete Huli, right? The gates, open the gates, open for me, right? Pete Huli." I thought, yeah, I already wrote a Pete Huli. That was my first response. I said, I wrote one, In 1992, I wrote a Pete Huli. It was very urgent. Open the gates for me, that I may enter. Let me into this place. Open the gates for me. And I remember I was 29 or how old do you think? I don't even want to talk about numbers right now. But the point is that I was much younger, and and I was struggling in so many ways. So I wrote this Pete Huli that was like, right? That's it. Right, anyway. Pete Huli, Sharet Sedek, and it was I loved it. I was young. I will tell you that I was also struggling at the time to come out, and I just didn't have a place. But this liturgy was saying, open the gates of righteousness so that I can enter and praise God just like with everyone else, Anyway, so that was the piece I wrote. But when Lizzie asked me to write something, this was the piece that I wrote. And I just want you to notice that what a difference 30 years makes. That's all I'm going to say. It's sort of self-explanatory. And we're going to take it up on that. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about cantors and me. I sing. Do you know what the people's key is, for example?
A minor.
You are not correct.
C minor.
No.
C minor.
B flat. B flat is the people's key. I don't care what anybody says. I care what you say, but B flat is the people's key, and that's the key that I happen to love to sing in, but I do enjoy lifting myself and challenging to the higher depths of my higher depths. I should shut up. Anyway, this is Pete Huli that I wrote for Cantor Lizzie, and we sang it at her installation, and it brings me great joy to sing with you here. And I'm singing the first verse.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lose my way, I stumble and fall. I fail to see the open door and only see a wall. Sometimes I close my ears when open they should be, but then I stop and listen to that still small voice inside of me. Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Avova, Odeya, Odeya, Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Avova, Odeya, Odeya.
May I see my life in the work of your hands and walk in love and freedom to the promised land. And when I lose my way, I pray that I may see that spark inside the darkness and the gates open for me. Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Avova, Odeya, Odeya, Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Avova, Odeya, Odeya, Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Avova, Odeya, Odeya, Pete Hooley, Sharet Sedek, Sharet Sedek, Avova, Odeya, Pete Hooley, Pete Hooley.
Thank you. Thank you. Should I do one more song? Is
Sure.
that good?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do one more song and yeah. And is there does you know what? While I have you here, does anybody have any questions or comments? I know we're in the middle of a worship service, so this is the best time to be asking and commenting and talking with each other and looking into each other's eyes, saying all sorts of things. So if you have anything to say, in Durham, yes, I have. Oh, Durham, North Carolina. Well, certainly. Temple Bethel? Is that it? Yes, well, North Carolina, I've gone many times to North Carolina because there's that Raleigh, Durham, and where's the other? Charlotte. And so whenever I go, I do that lovely triangle. And yes, Durham. Lots of traveling. Of course, I haven't really been traveling that much, what with the pandemic, and then also I have kids, but I'm getting back into it. Now one of my kids is in college, my older one. So that's a nice thing. I don't, thank you for that. Will you be recording? I am in the middle of recording right now. I guess this would be, I haven't put out an album in years. And I am thinking a lot about songs of joy and reconciliation, songs that we all know. And so I've never really put out a cover album. Well, you know, I did it. Thank you. And you know, it's so funny. I love that song. That is a great song. Yeah. So yeah, so we'll hear all about it. I thought I would offer this one piece to you. I'm not sure if I've shared it with you before, but it is a song that I wrote for a parsha called Matot. Right? Do you know Matot? Shush. 1960, your bar mitzvah was Matot? Unbelievable. Would you like to do a little chanting before I begin? No. I have a friend who put together a compilation of all of the songs of the Parshiot, all the Parshiot. She wanted a song for each one. Randy Friedman down in San Diego, right? Love her. We love Randy. Randy said, Julie, pick one of the Parshiot and write a new song, and I'm going to ask all of your colleagues to do it, and just pick a song. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. And so she faxed me the list of Parshiot that she wanted to be treated in song, and I looked at it and I said, well, I'm looking at this list, and I just put it down on a ever-growing pile of papers, and I didn't look at it, and sure enough, she calls 2 weeks later. She says, Julie, did you pick one? I said, I haven't picked one yet. She said, well, the list is now down to like 7. You can pick from 7 Parshiot. I said, okay, just send me over the Parshiot that you're talking about. So she faxed me the new list, and I look at it, and, I sort of put it down where I put my Ve'ahavta homework. And I just put that down there, and I thought about it very little. And I get a call from her, and she says, Julie, there's 2 Parshiot left. And she says, now, one, and she says, there's 2 of them. One of them is called Tazria, okay? And that's about leprosy. Tazria, what's the next word? Mitzvah, right. It's about leprosy, okay? It happens. and in the Torah. And the other one was Matot. Well, I'm shocked that no one wanted to do Matot, but I look at it, I said, well, what's Matot about? She says, Matot is about keeping your word. If you make an oath, you keep your word. And I read it, and I said, but that's not really what I read. What I read was, if a man makes a vow, his vow is worth whatever, his vow is everything. But if a woman makes a vow, her vow can be annulled by her husband or her father, depending upon whose house in which she is living. And I turned to Randy and I said, I will take leprosy. But by the time I chose it, she had given it to Rick Recht. Oh, and he wrote a beautiful song. So I got stuck with Matot. And here's oops, oh well. And here's my take on Matot. But the funny thing is that I back then I think he says, what did you say? I didn't know. I don't think I still understand it. But I read it, and it said, if a man makes a vow, blah blah blah. If a woman makes a vow. I have opened up the Torah, read aloud from sacred scrolls. I've been filled with fascination as my history unfolds. But today I read the Torah with the rest of Israel. If a man should make a promise, then his word must never fail. If a woman makes a vow to God, the same does not hold true. Her husband or her father must decide what she should do. The Torah that I cling to, that wears a silver crown, has left me out and let me in the midst of this commandment. Where am I? I am not between the lines. Where am I? Is my promise not important? And how can I close my eyes? Where am I searched for explanations. I can't tell you how I've tried to find meaning in this passage that leaves me on the outside, but no one has an answer. Oh, can it really be that the rights and obligations are for someone else, not me? And where am I in the midst of this commandment? Where am I? I am not between the lines. Where am I? Is my promise not important? And how can I close my eyes? And what do I tell my little boys? And what do I tell my little girls? I believe that it's my job to find myself within a text that places me so neatly on the shelf. I struggle and I question, I criticize and doubt, but surely this is what our tradition's all about. And where am I in the midst of this commandment? Where am I? I am not between the lines. Where am I? Is my promise not important? And how can I close my eyes? Where am I? Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and today I learned another new song, right? We're going to do this together, but you'll handle this one.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Music has an incredible power to heal, to uplift, to let us know that we are one community. It's incredible that when we sing, we really all become together one instrument and one voice, and we know that that extends far beyond where we sit here in our sanctuary, to each and every member of our community, far and wide. We know that that very same power that offers strength can offer healing as well. And so if you are joining us online, I want to invite you to share the names of those that you're thinking of in the chat. For all of us, I invite us to turn to our booklets. You'll find the names of those who are in need of healing, and for a century, our community has come together and found strength in being with each other, and that healing, I invite us to turn into action. If you see someone on this list, someone that you haven't talked to in a little while, or someone that you know, I invite us to allow our prayer to be an extension. The healing that we call for tonight is not just a healing of the Spirit, but for each of us to stand up and to offer that healing to each other. And so it might be a text message or a phone call. I invite us to reach out to one another. This Shabbat, we especially call to mind those who have come recently onto our Misha Berach list. And so together and as one community, our hearts are with Tila Carroll, Kim DeSellis, Steve Gratch, Kathy Hagerman-Beiser, Chuck Leff, Robin Nahan, Kevin O'Grady, Nadine Picard, Heather Raphael, Lance Vault, Amy Cohen, Wesley Flores, Barry Levy, and Delaney Washington. If you are thinking of someone in particular this Shabbat, and you'd like to share their name out loud so that we can all find strength and hold that person in you, in our hearts, it's our custom to invite you to rise and to share their name as my eyes meet yours. We add to these those online. We include in our prayers Gail Silvers, Skorenki, Michael Dranch, Sheila R., Renee Z., Zoe S., Roman D., Paul Simmering, Ariana Scotti, Tila Carroll, Will McHenry, Olivia Escoboza, Claire Steinberger, and Jeff Kohlberg. We turn now to words of healing. You can find the words of our prayer on page 373, page 373 of our prayer books. Let's sing together.
Dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days. El Narfana Larfana Lanu. El Narfana Larfana Lanu. Restore our strength of body. Restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds. Help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirit. Refresh our tired spirit. Rejuvenate our light. Rejuvenate our El Narfana Larfana Lanu. El Narfana Larfana Lanu. Thank you for all these blessings. Throughout our days and nights. Throughout our days and nights. We celebrate the journey. We celebrate the journey. This precious gift of life. This precious gift. El Narfana Larfana
continue now on page 282. Page 282 on the bottom of the page with the words of Aleinu. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Yes.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyeh aratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. I have yet to substantiate this. But the story goes that when our temple was remodeled, that there were memorial plaques that were placed on the wall, and for generations people would see and remember those members of our community who had been a part of Temple Israel for generations. And when they decided to redo the sanctuary, they decided that they weren't going to include those same plaques on the sanctuary walls. And they looked for ways that they might include those same memories. The story goes that those same plaques were then actually melted down into the space of our sanctuary arch doors, so that the memories of those that are a part of our community might continue and remain a sacred and important part of who we are each and every week and each and every day we share this sacred space. This Shabbat, we take a moment to remember each generation, the people who have been a part of our lives, who have changed us, and for whom we share a love that reaches far beyond death. For each and every one of us, if we're thinking of someone and we're online, I invite us to place the name of that person in the chat. For those of us who are here in our community in a moment, I'll be inviting us to share their names aloud as well. We have a special practice of turning our hearts to those members of our community who have lost someone recently. And so I invite us to turn our hearts. As we remember Arlene Schaefer, our hearts are with Susie and Bruce, Sharon and Adam, Lisa and Sam, Julie and Dave, Amy, Joanna and Brandon, Sadie and Levi, Johnny, Liam, Jake and Eve, Aubrey, Caroline and Bailey, Linda, Charlie, Jeff, and Yukai. And as we remember Jim Licht, our hearts are with Jamie and Jess, David and Amber. This Shabbat, as we remember Harriet Ellis, our hearts are with Deb and Frank, Claire and Lisa, Amelia and Lyle, Sammy and Asher. As we remember Manolo Boskowicz, our hearts are with Ross and Miria. And this Shabbat, as we remember Gary Lapid, our hearts are with Sharon. This Shabbat, as we hold in our hearts the memories of people so dear to this congregation who have died in recent days, so too do we mark the art sites, the anniversaries. Together we remember Mira Berger, Roberta Bernstein, Martin Bleisich, Audrey Cohen, Cheryl Iser, Clara Endelman, Harold Epstein, Ruth Felsenthal, Helen Pfeiffer, Evelyn Friedman, Jack Lance, Alan Goldberg, Wayne Hammer, George Hancock, Adolf Hirsch, Benjamin Hull, Charles Jaffe, Annette Kaiser, Dora Katz, Frances Megdal, Lorraine Merrick, Audrey Miller, Sarah Miller, Maurice Polak, Milton Riskin, Joseph Ross, Morris Ross, Judy Senfeld, Alan Singer, Stephen Solomon, Marie Van Ralt, and Lori Zellick. If you are here in our sanctuary and are thinking of someone in particular this Shabbat, it's our custom to invite you to rise and to share their name as my eyes meet yours. Inevitably, two of us will share a name at the same time. That's okay. I invite us to share our names. We add to these names Christine Patterson, Anita Nelson, Catriona Ruda Esquivel. I'd like to invite all of us to turn to the words on page 294. Page 294, and let's rise together and as one as we offer these words. Yitgadal, Bitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divarachu Te Ve'amlich Malchute, V'chayechon V'yomechon, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala Vizman Kari Vimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Olmeol Maya, Yit Barach V'ishtabach V'it Pa'ar V'it Ramam V'it Naseh, V'it Adar V'it Eleh V'it Halal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of those near to us always be a source of blessing. May we always see their presence in our lives, and may we be reminded of the gift of their presence in our lives and the brightness it brings. I invite us together to say, Amen. I'd like to invite up a member of our board of directors, Kate Sakanoff, to share some of the goings-on at Temple Israel. The rest of the congregation, please be seated as we learn about other things happening this weekend and other things coming up at Temple Israel.
Thank you all for being here. Tonight, we hope that you will all join us for the Oneg afterwards. And we have several sponsors tonight, co-sponsored by Francine de France in honor of her grandson, Robert de France's bar mitzvah, and also by Jay Eisner in memory of Cheryl Iser, beloved wife and mother. And tonight's celebration of 100 years cake is a gift from Harriet Ellis of blessed memory. Please join us in the Cogan Lapellis Social Hall after the service to enjoy that. And then tomorrow morning at 8:45, we will have the weekly Torah study with the Rabbi on Zoom or in Alban Hall, your choice. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, we will celebrate the bar mitzvah of Robert de France. Mazel tov to Robert and family. On Thursday, so you got a couple days off in there, the 15th at 7 o'clock, we have the Joys of Jewish Learning class called Let's Talk About Israel, led by our own Mark Dresner, who is here right back there. Thank you, Mark, for doing that. Next Shabbat, Friday the 16th, Cantor Cooper will be leading a Learner's Shabbat. I want to learn about the Learner's Shabbat. And Saturday, the 17th at 11 a.m., we will have our senior Shabbat service and luncheon, which is held at the Alpert JCC. We have a lot of classes and programs. Check the calendar, call the office, look at your Monday morning email. If you ever have a question about how to attend one of our classes or programs, feel free to call the temple office. The staff's always happy to help you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Kate. Well, in just a moment, we're going to have our closing song, but I want to mention a couple things. One is that we're going to continue our celebration with that sweetness. So after we have this closing song, I'll invite us to head into the other room so we can have that sweetness together. We can offer that Kiddush. But there's something powerful. You know, one of the first melodies that I got to hear of yours, Julie, was your Shir Chadash melody. There's something incredibly powerful about coming here to Temple Israel, where we were kibitzing a little bit. Sorry, everyone. We were kibitzing a little bit about how this place is a place that has been a part of your life for many years, right? Yeah. And how we can take these melodies and the moments and memories of the past and allow them to continue to be renewed with Shir Chadash, a melody that reminds us that each and every year, each and every Shabbat, each and every generation, that we have a new sweetness. Yeah. It is incredibly fitting to me that you have helped us begin this weekend and celebrate this Shabbat. And so I want to invite all of us. I know that we don't applaud, and so I invite us again to offer our appreciation for Julie Silver this Shabbat for the incredible gift of your music. That's it. And let's continue to sing together, Oseh Shalom. It is a Temple Israel tradition to take part in something particular. Yeah, and Julie, if you want to introduce it, I just have one thing that I want to invite us to do, which is a Temple Israel tradition, which is I want to invite us all to take one arm and lift it up and place that arm on the shoulders of the person next to you. Take your other arm and lift it up, place it on the shoulders of the person next to you on the other side. Some of us are choosing to stand. Let's sing together.
Yes. You guys are going to stand arm in arm, are you? As my grandmother would say, watch your wallets. Is that the one you like?
We should sing whatever Oseh Shalom you want us to sing.
Oh, say shalom imromah. Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Mazal
Shabbat
Tov,
Shalom.
Temple Israel. 100 more. 100 more.
Mr. Kalaf, thank you.
Take off my guitar. That was so nice.
Oh, you're very kind. Very kind.
I can't believe we haven't even.
Rosalie and Dan were on the chat. Cool is that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Please, everyone, go into the social hall now. Go right now. Turn around and go. Don't stop. Go.
You have no reason to actually remember this, but 30 years ago when you
Can you
worked
sing
at-
Kazakh Kazakh as people are speaking?
Yes.
Okay.
we started talking about the fact that you knew my cousin Joe Bell back in Newton, Massachusetts. You know the Messianic Rabbi, Joe Bell?
Yes. I remember talking to
I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's my first cousin.
Unbelievable.
My first
Still in
cousin.
Newton?
No, he's in Kentucky or something. I don't know. You know, yeah, no.
No.
None of the families in Newton anymore, actually.
Oh, it was a fine place to grow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was my place. Jeffrey, yeah.
Remember Allison?
Allison, yeah.
Great.
Meyerson. Shariam was my place. Loved it. Candles burn in the window every Friday night. Listen closely, go to the Oneg and be part of our life. We're singing together joyfully, passing love along. Shabbos keeps my family week by week. We're going strong. Chazak, chazak, the need chazek. Chazak, chazak, the need chazek. Be strong, be strong. We will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, the need chazek. That cake isn't going to eat itself, people. Oh my God. I hope you got that on video. Kazak, Kazak. The two of us together, you mean? Okay.